This is a video of a short ride that Mike and Sean Eason and I did on a counterclockwise loop on this map for about 215 miles on a Saturday morning in September. Everything's closed in the forest because of fires and drought, so this is just a road trip. We tried to stay on some twisty roads. This is the Grimes Canyon Road through Moore Park. It goes up and over the mountain range just north of Simi Valley. That's Mike in front of me and Sean's behind. We're all three on our Africa Twin Hondas. We've all switched over to these bikes since we all three owned BMW F800 GSs. This is the Fillmore agricultural area on the other side of the mountain, north of Simi Valley. Lots of orange groves and some avocados, some other crops down in this valley. That's Lake Castaic, super low reservoir level because of the low rain. And we're on Lake Hughes Road, heading up to the Rock Inn for breakfast. We ate there and then continued our ride and looped back home. There's the Rock Inn. We're first here at the restaurant. This is a big biker place. It fills up with riders. There was a bunch of cars that pulled up and a lot of road bikes and dirt bikers stop in here. We left on Pine Canyon Road and up to the Ridge Route. There were fires. You can see along the edges there was some fires burning here in the last year or two. And we make our way back over the ridge down towards Gorman. That lake down there is Quail Lake, which is part of the California Aqueduct that you can see off in the distance. It's right here. We just crossed over it. And then we're making our way towards Gorman and the Gorman Post Road and then towards Fraser Mountain Park, back up to Lockwood Valley, which is part of this road. You can see the dirt here. That was a wash that came across on a flood in past years that had to be bulldozed. It totally covered the road. That's about 5 feet deep. We're on Lockwood Valley Road, which is a sandstone and river valley basically. So it's got lots of curvy roads, really nice scenery, and in this flat section you see these Porsches and a lone Corvette out for a nice ride as well. We saw lots of cars, lots of motorcycles. And then in this valley, just before this fire station, back onto Highway 33, which is the Maricopa Highway, climbing back up over the mountain range till about 5,000 feet. You can see on my GPS I track speed, altitude, direction, and record the tracks for those maps. Just beautiful ride here. I've also got a voltmeter that I put on the bike to display and monitor that, mostly for in the evenings on camping trips to make sure my battery stays charged if I'm charging up electronics. As we come down, you can see the Pacific Ocean out there and the Channel Islands. You'll see Anacapa Island and Santa Cruz Island off in the distance, probably 40 miles away or so. There's Sean and Mike, and then we stopped for just a quick break, and then got back down on the road here. The bikes are remarkably capable, even with knobbly tires. They're fantastic handling, even though they're made for riding in the dirt. They're quite capable on these curvy roads. We're not pushing it too hard, but they're quite fun to ride, particularly on a highway like this. These tunnels are kind of cool. It's difficult on this next one coming up because it's on a curve, and you have to maintain your curve as your eyes don't adjust. You have to be very consistent because, as you can see, there's oncoming traffic. We came up behind a group of Harleys and entering Ojai. There's some Ferraris that were out, and then back over the highway, 150 highway, up over to Santa Paula. More riders. This was just a gorgeous day, so people were just out riding. Over to Santa Paula and then back through the Fillmore area. That section right there is oil. If you stop the video right there, you can see oil seeping out of the ground. That whole area is full of oil wells. Back through the vegetation or the farming area again, and under the highway at Moore Park, back into Simi Valley. A quarter mile on the highway. Sean took off to his house on the east end. Mike and I are on the west end of town, and back in the garage at 216 miles.